I asked some of the best players in Art of War Legions to rank every troop on a tier list, and they did. So let's check them out and see what they have to say. Before we go any further, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you play Art of War Legions and want to stay caught up with the game. And like this video to support the channel. This tier list is by RYL Mervda, and he ranked Peltist, Frost Archers, and Stone Golems in the S tier, followed by Apprentices, Ice Mages, Undead Soldiers, Witchers, Pumpkin Guards, and Totems in the A tier. So I'm going to read what Mervda has to say verbatim. He says that the troops in the S tier will decide the match for you, and they are needed in high quantity or hard to get, although I do think you can have too many Stoners eventually. As for the troops in the A tier, you can find lots of the troops in the A tier in pretty much every formation regardless of the hero being used, but their placement can often decide the battle. Witchers are a good substitute for Frost Archers, and they are often in high demand for honor hunting. Pumpkin Guards are an elite troop that are so good and accessible, they are great substitutes for Stone Golems. I find them extremely effective on the back line. The Witchcraft Totem, aka the Fear Stick, should be feared. They are effective crowd control, but it doesn't make the S tier because you only need a couple of them. You will find at least one or two of the troops in the B tier in almost all formations, but because only a few are needed, they get a B rating, but they are just as important as A tier troops, and you can find Voodoo Dolls in the Honor Hunting Hall of Fame. I find the Rhino has fallen from grace. It is a great chaos creation troop, but many forms don't have them anymore, but I do want a couple on my bench. As for the C tier, their popularity tends to rise and fall depending on meta formations. I always want some 9s on my bench, but you won't necessarily find them in all my formations. Why are Necros in the C tier? They are fun for honor hunting, but I am not too sure they have a role in the arena. Pharaohs may have some good potential, but the jury is still out until we can actually see some 9s on the battlefield. Moving on to the D tier, these are all great troops while you are building your army, but I'm not too sure I want to make any 9s out of them. I would currently replace all of them with higher ranked troops, which is sad because the Bear and the Beastmaster is my favorite troop. I sometimes play one despite it not being the best tactical choice. As for the E tier, these are leveling troops, and a Templar Knight is good early on for distracting Ivan. Last but not least, we have the F tier. These are your first troops, and they're best used for fusing, but always keep some. You never know when the meta will change. Hell Jailer's ability to run through friendly troops has always had great potential, just not enough damage and health to compete. This tier list is by RYL Goblazika, and he ranked Peltist and Frost Archers in the S tier, followed by Magic Apprentices, Ghost Assassins, Meteor Golems, Totems, Priest Mages, Ballistas, Nuns, and Stone Golems in the A tier. Goblazika says, I just want to give a shout out to all my Royal and Regal friends. Without you, I would have never been in a position to put together this list. Also a shout out to Stanky, who also taught me so much. Remember, this is a list for my experiences with Kione and is arena focused. I do not have a workable Pharaoh or pirate ship, although for Arthur I know they are definitely a top-notch troop, but for my list I'm leaving them as unknown. As for almost every hero, Peltist and Frost Archers are what I select above everything. It seems like you can never get enough of these. As for the A tier, Apprentices and Assassins are your primary back attack. Apprentices are more important as you will need more, but having 2 or 4 assassins at your disposal is necessary. Meteor Golems with their area stun have made a resurgence in Kione formations. It can be so frustrating when going up against Witchcraft Totems, but when you win First Fear, they can make the difference. I love pairing Ballistas and Priest Mages together. They are definitely must-haves. B tier, these are all very important troops. I mostly use Goblikazis in row 6, but sometimes row 7, even if they use a lot of Ghost Assassins. Witchers are great along with Ice Mages, Undead Soldiers, and Voodoos. I find Voodoos in the back row can be very helpful, but also in certain instances, putting 1 or 2 up front works well. Rhinos can be very useful against certain heroes, although their unpredictability finds me leaving them on the bench sometimes. The Dark Witch is great at slowing down troops, and catapults are very useful as well, but I prefer Ballistas and a Priest Mage to the catapult. For the C tier, I occasionally will use a Demon if I need a back tank, and a Harbinger can be useful in the back as well. I sometimes use Soul Hunters to tank for me in the back, and they can actually work quite well and cause a lot of damage. And Fire Mages can really do a lot of damage as well. The rest of the troops I don't really use in the arena. I haven't used the Templar Knight since my Kione was a level 12 to distract Ivan. This tier list was by RGR Dylan, and he ranked Peltist, Frost Archers, Totems, Apprentices, Nuns, and Stone Golems in the S tier, followed by Rhinos, Assassins, Meteor Golems, Voodoos, Priest Mages, Undead Soldiers, Pumpkin Guards, Ballistas, Witchers, and Goblikazis in the A tier. Now I have to mention that there are several ways to make tier list, and some have more sections than others, but Dylan does not have a D. Wait. Wait, let me say that again. I'm sorry, Dylan. Dylan's list does not have a D section, so I moved everything up. Dylan did not have much to say, but initially he had ranked pirate ships in the F tier because of all of the shit that happened and all of the resources wasted on it. That does it for the video. I'd like to thank everyone who took their time to rank every troop in the game. It's really appreciated. Everyone else, smash like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.